Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So just a reminder, as per the last series episode of Halifax, we are going to be doing pre-recorded episodes for the next 3 episodes after this point, so just a little bit heads up on that. But anyways, if you didn't catch the last episode, we took on the Colorado Avalanche in the first round of the playoffs. And once again, we lost in the playoffs, and there is definitely a glaring problem with this team, and that is the defensive play in the goaltending situation, which is we're definitely going to address. But our offense was pretty good in a way, because you could see we had 4 guys over a point per game, which was pretty nice. But obviously there was some guys that didn't do as much as we were really hoping to. Because, for instance, Luke Misa, who was a very good rookie, only had 2 assists in 6 games. Also, we had, I think it was Irving, only 2 goals in 6 games after having 49 goals, I think it was, in the regular season, wasn't it? Yeah, 49 goals in the regular season to only 2 goals in the playoffs. So a couple guys needed to do a little bit better in terms of the offensive front, but you could definitely see there was a glaring problem with our goaltending, as Gabriel Dag, his first playoffs, he played terribly for the first 3 games. Then started to find himself a little bit over the next 2 games. He did actually pick up a shutout over that span, which was nice. And then he lost the last game, and you could see, an 8.76 through 6 games isn't good enough for sure. And then when Dostal played, he was not good either with an 8.13. So our goaltending is definitely a big problem, and hopefully it's something we can address going forward, as well as that defensive core. And once that gets better, that alongside this good offense, I think we might actually be a good playoff team. But right now, obviously, we still need to develop some good defensive prospects, draft some more of them, and it should be enticing to see what this team could do. But anyways, before we get into the draft and re-sign stage, let's get into your guys' comments and see what you guys have to say about our first round exit. So the first comment is from Michael Dose, who says, well, yeah, wow, maybe need defensive players and goalies. And yeah, I think that's definitely what we're going to be prioritizing in the next few drafts, is obviously building up that defensive core, building up those goaltenders a little bit more, just in case, because who knows how long Dag is going to be our starting goalie for, because sometimes medium-only goalies act like they're an AHL starter instead. I don't even know exactly. It's like reversed roles pretty much on how good goaltenders simulate. So it would be good to build up that goaltending core a little bit, so that way we have a plethora of options to go to. The next comment is from the 613 Frenchie, who says that lottery result was BS, thanks EA, and yes it was. We did have a lottery pick despite making the playoffs with the San Jose Sharks, and it stayed deadlocked at number 7, which is not too bad, but we might honestly try and move up in this draft. The next comment is from Tanner Otaku, who says, not an unexpected result for the playoffs. As far as the draft goes, the only player that would be worth moving up for is Vandermeer. Otherwise, go with Vernarski. So if we look here, we do have the 7th overall pick. We also do have obviously our own pick, which is later on. The only player that worth moving up for would be Will Vandermeer. Will Vandermeer is an offensive defenseman. Looks actually pretty damn solid. So if we are going to try and move up, it would be to get him. But if we can't move up, we do have a good chance at getting a medium elite defenseman here with Connor Vernarski, who looks like he's going to be pretty solid, and he is NHL ready. The only thing I don't like is that he has a weakness in character, so he might be kind of a problematic guy if he doesn't get his ice time, but he might be honestly our pick if we aren't able to move up at all. And then the last and final comment is from Souls, who says, I think it would be worthwhile to move up to get Vandermeer. I don't expect it would be too steep to do so, and getting an offensive defenseman, or a stud offensive defenseman, would fill a big hole. Vernarski would be a good consolation if it's too tough, and I totally agree with that. I think Vandermeer would be kind of almost like a younger version of what we had with Josh Morrissey in a way, and I think that would be a great addition to our team if we're able to move up and get him. It's the only thing is I don't really know exactly where he's supposed to go, if he's supposed to go 3rd or 4th. It looks like he's supposed to go 3rd based on our scouts, because the fact that Virtanen has jumped up based on our scout ranks to it says 4. But in terms of the actual scouting, it says that Virtanen is supposed to go number 3. So I don't know if the AI is going to take him at 3 or 4. So we might have to try and move up into the top 3 to guarantee us a chance at him. Or else we might have to take Virtanen instead. Which Virtanen, let me take a look at the comparison between the two. Oh yeah, for sure Vandermeer is the better of the 2 options. So I honestly might try and move up to number 3 just to guarantee us that guy if we possibly can. But let's get into this draft, and we'll see if we can move up a couple spots, because we should be able to package both of our first rounders and then maybe something else to get it done, my guess. So the Rangers don't actually want to trade the 3rd overall pick, but it doesn't really matter. The Philadelphia Flyers have back-to-back picks. I didn't even realize that. Jeez. Huh. They might be willing to move one of them, but the only thing is I don't know if Vandermeer goes to top 3 or not. Because based on the scouting, it seems like he's not supposed to go. Let's just see first with the Rangers at 3 to see if it's easy to move up to that 3rd spot. So obviously we're going to have to give them number 7 from the San Jose Sharks. They do want 20th overall, but that has a lot of value, so I might be able to throw in the 2nd round pick because we do have 2 of them. Let's throw in number 63. That might be able to get it done on its own right. Yeah, let's see if that works. 7th in 63 to move up 4 spots. That's rejected. Okay, what if I change 63 for 52? This is a little bit of an earlier pick. Still rejected. Okay, so we're going to have to add a little bit more to this deal. Is there any prospects that I don't need that you would mind taking on? We do have some unsigned guys, but I don't really want to reach into the unsigned pool. Emil Hemming honestly could be a piece that I move out. I'm not really too sold on his play. How much points did he have this year again? 21 points. Yeah, I don't think he's going to become much of anything for us. Or I could try and give up Kumpalainen, who did score a goal for the Finns yesterday. You know what? I think either giving up like somebody like Kumpalainen into this deal wouldn't be a bad option for our team to do. Let's try and do it as 7th in Kumpalainen. I know it's weird to give up a prospect that's kind of young on our team, but I honestly have other guys that could jump on past this guy. So 7th in Kumpalainen for a 3rd overall pick. It's still rejected. Okay. Gonna have to probably add still a pick to the deal. So I guess we will go back to the picks, and I will give you guys 63 as well. I think this should get it done. It might be a bit of an overpayment, but we need to get that defenseman in. So 7th Kumpalainen and 63rd overall. Still rejected. Okay. That is kind of interesting. So we might actually have to give up our 2 first-round picks to get this done, but I don't really want to do that. What if I package both seconds together? Because since we have 2 first-round picks, the 2nd-round picks are kind of like average in a sense. So what if we just do this? Rejected. Maybe the Rangers do not want to budge on that 3rd overall pick that much. I know for a fact I have to give up a 2nd-rounder likely. Is there any other prospect I would be okay with moving out based on value? I could give them somebody like Michelli, but I think that's a lot of value to give. What about Hemming? I was thinking about moving Hemming. I think Hemming wouldn't be a bad option to move out from. So, because we do have a ton of prospects anyways. So what if we do a 1st, a 2nd, and Hemming? Still rejected. Okay, I might have to go to the trade finder to see what New York would want for it. So there's the franchise guy going to St. Louis. We'll take a look at him in a little bit, but I'm still going to try and pull off a trade with the New York Rangers for that 3rd overall pick. We'll definitely see if they have an offer for us on what they want for it. Let's see. So draft picks and 3rd overall. What do you want, New York? Stankoven and Misa, that's not going to happen. Lucius in a 1st, that's not going to happen. Palin and Misa, no. And Perfetti straight up, no. None of those trades make sense. And then with their current block, it doesn't work either. So we're going to still have to try and work something out here. We might have to trade with Philadelphia for 4. I feel like the guy could go 4th overall, but I still want to try and make sure that we could get a trade done with the Rangers. Because if that offensive defenseman goes earlier, I'm not going to be too super happy in a sense, but let's see if we can get something to work out here. 7th. Do I have to give up the 20th pick? Because I honestly don't feel like doing that. What if I gave you guys both 2nd rounders again, and if I gave you... None of these guys are players I want to move here so far. I could give up Michelli. Could give up Michelli, but... What if I gave you Michelli and then 20th overall pick? Because I feel like Michelli has a lot of value. So I'm not even giving up the 7th overall pick yet. And we could drop both defensemen. That would be nice. So Michelli in the 20th overall pick. Actually, no, we don't want to give up 20. No, we could give up 20 considering if we'd still have our early picks. So we'd have 3rd and 7th. Would this work, hypothetically, or even get close? No, it's not close yet. What if I threw in an extra 2nd round pick? Too far off. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy to move up with the Rangers, it seems like, so we might have to make a deal with the Flyers at 4 instead. I really hope that the offensive defenseman's still on there on the board at that point. We could always take a look at that, but we'd only have like 2 minutes to try and pull off a trade. So let's see if we could pull something off for 4th overall here. So we give you 7th, and what do you guys are interested in? They had interested in Dostal, but his rights are up for renewal anyways. There's got to be somebody here. Let's see. We could try and add Hemming again to this deal. And what if you wanted you do want our 2nd rounders, so we'll give you the 52nd overall pick. See if that works. Too far off. I honestly might have to move both 1st round picks in this deal. Let me actually go to the trade finder and see what Philadelphia would want for it. Nashville's about to make their selection though, so we might as well just wait and see what they take. And then it comes down to the Rangers if they're actually going to take that offensive defenseman or not. We might not be able to move up to get this guy because a lot of teams probably want this offensive defenseman. So Nashville at 2. What are they going to select? Boynton. Okay. Now we have only a couple minutes to try and make a trade with the Flyers here. So we got to be kind of quick here if we want to. I just hope that the Rangers don't take that guy, but it wouldn't be okay. It wouldn't be bad if they do, but it still would suck. So we want to go to draft picks, and we wanted to go 4th overall. They also have 5th overall, so they're Grosek, Galvis, and Heinola is not going to work. Irving, no. Michelli is 2nd rounder, and Hemming. Didn't I offer them that? I thought I was offering them that. It's a future 2nd, not this year's 2nd. That's interesting. Yeah, that could work. That could work. We are giving them a lot more value, it looks like, than the 4th overall pick is worth. But that's going to be the trade. We were thinking of getting rid of Michelli at some point anyways. 2nd rounder is okay to move out, and Hemming is not a prospect that's going to develop into being a stud, I don't think. So this is going to be the trade with the Flyers. At least we're going to... I'm going to write that down right now, this trade. And then I am going to see first of the Rangers take that offensive defenseman. But that also might make them not want to move this guy. So let's see. Michelli, 2nd in 2030. And we also said Hemming. So I'm not going to make that trade just yet. But I want to see first if the Rangers actually take that guy. If the Rangers take that guy, I might not want to move up, to be honest. Because I think Vernarski is supposed to be better than that other 2-way defenseman, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, Virtanen, only 1B. What is the guy that we were looking at our pick? Yeah, see, I think Vernarski might be right around the same, to be honest, but he's not guaranteed to be elite. That's the only thing. So, and you know what? We're gonna make that trade, I think, already with the Flyers. Might as well. So. Because, I mean, it's just moving up a couple spots. It's not like a significant amount of spots. But we did want to get rid of Michelli anyways at some point. And I'm okay with giving up a 2nd rounder for next year instead of this year. And then also I'm okay with moving out Emil Hemming as well. So we'll do this trade with the Philadelphia Flyers for that 4th overall selection. There we go. So we moved up a couple spots. We did give up Matias Michelli, which is kind of a big blow to making our offense a little bit worse, but it does give more ice time to guys like Grosek and I forget who else was it, but it gives more ice time to some of those guys, which is nice. So will the Rangers take the offensive defenseman now? That's the crazy thing. Will they be able to do it? Or are they going to take this 2-way defenseman? I hope they take Virtanen, because it would be nice to get ourselves that offensive defenseman. I'm going to wait a few seconds here just to see what they end up doing instead. But I really hope that we get that offensive defenseman here, because I don't think I've ever really drafted much OFDs, so it would be really nice to get an OFD that's medium potential, and that could help run our power play unit with all our good young players. And they do take Virtanen. Let's go. Thank you, New York. So we tried to move up with New York, but they managed to go with Virtanen instead. Let's take a look at the other guys as well. There's Avery Boynton, who went 2nd overall. Pretty balanced player. And there's the franchise guy, Peyton Eckford, who looks pretty damn good. So we are going to get our prize just because we decided to trade Michelli, which is nice. So Will Vandermeer is going to be joining the team. And I just realized, wait, we gave up Michelli a 2nd and Hemming. to get 4th overall, which means we still have 7th overall, right? Yes, we do. Holy crap, I didn't even think about that. Okay, looks like we're going to get Vernarski and Vandermeer, which is really nice. That will definitely help out our blue line quite a bit. So, Will Vandermeer, very excited for you. You're going to be very good to help out our power play unit. Like, imagine having him on a power play with all the other stud talent we have in our lineup. Like, this is definitely going to boost our offense quite a bit. So, Will Vandermeer, welcome to Winnipeg. 79 offensive defenseman, same overall. He does have X factors as well. And his passing is already pretty solid. His offensive awareness obviously is pretty good too. Really good shot power. His accuracy is not terrible, but he should be able to score some goals from the blue line as well. Has elite edges, wheels, and send it. Really like that one there. That is very exciting for our team. And like I said, we still have 7th overall as well. So there is a good chance we might be able to grab our 2nd medium elite defenseman in the early going. And do we still have our 20th overall pick too? I guess we do, right? Wow, we didn't even have to move one of our first rounders to move up. That's actually awesome. I like that a lot because now we have 3 first rounders that we can use to prioritize the areas we need in. So very much like that. Let's see what the Flyers take at 5. They take the keeping guy who's a 78 DFD. He's got truculence, so he's a good hitter. Pretty much a perfect player for the Philadelphia Flyers because they do like their physical guys. Okay, let's into our pick at 7. And we do still have our guy on the board, so that is nice. Let's take Mr. Vernarski because the other guys are just top 6 forwards. We definitely want to target defenders. So Connor Vernarski is also going to be joining the club. Oh, he's only a top 4. He's not medium elite. Well, 77 overall is really good, but damn, I was hoping he'd be medium elite as well. He does have in reverse, so he's a good back skater. Does have some solid offensive attributes. Should be able to run maybe his own power play unit at some point if he develops, but I don't really like that he's only a top 4. I thought he would be medium elite based on those numbers, especially early on too, but we do get the best of both worlds. At least we get our 2 really good defenders. I think Vandermeer's already going to be playing in the NHL next season, but Vernarski probably will be in the... is he AHL eligible? He is. I might wait a year on him as well, just because it's not worth rushing a young guy into the AHL lineup right away. But let's into our next pick at 20, see if we made the right pick with that guy, which we probably did, but is there any good steals after the fact? Wismuller was also a 77, but only a DFD. Just some pretty solid picks before that. Okay, 20th overall now. We can get ourselves a guaranteed top 6 playmaker in Dale Nystrom, which would be the replacement for Michelli, basically, at some point. Peyton Pojard literally doesn't look super good on paper. There is a goalie supposed to go first round if we wanted to get ourselves another goalie prospect. Stanley King. You know what? I think I might honestly go with the goalie just because it would be good to get ourselves more goalie prospects. Like a lot of these defenders, I wouldn't take at this stage. And if he's a first round goalie, there's a higher chance that he is an elite goaltender. So Stanley King is going to be our goaltender. Maybe he'll be a goaltender that gets us a Stanley Cup. Who knows? Yeah, I think he's going to be our pick here. Because I would rather him, I think, over all these other guys. Like, I don't have enough guys scouted. Nystrom we know for sure is a guaranteed top 6, but we're going to go for Stanley King, and he's likely going to be medium elite, but the question is overall rating. He is medium elite, 57 overall, so he's a bit more of a project goalie, but that's okay. Only 17 years of age, and he's pretty athletic. He's got pretty balanced reflexes and puck skills. So he could develop into being a decent goaltender for us, but now we have ourselves 3 medium elite players. Well, not medium elite. One's the top 4. One could have been medium elite in the first round. So that's a very good first round. And we still have all of our other picks, I think, in this year's draft, right? Just got to double check on that. We have 2 seconds. We have 4, 5th, 6th, and a 7th. So we don't have a third rounder, but we should be able to grab ourselves something decent with those second rounders as well. So let's into our pick at 52. See what is available. See if we could find ourselves anything decent here in round 2. There is a potential low elite that we had pinned in Marek Mishenko. Yeah, you know what? That might honestly be our pick. I'd rather him potentially than the low 4. And this low 4 doesn't even look that good, to be honest. So I think we're going to probably go with that guy. There's a low 4 DFD who's listed as Jim Raphael Blaine. We might be able to grab that with our next pick anyways, but yeah, I think we're going to go for the guy that could be a low elite here in Mishenko. Let's hope that he is a low elite. And he's a low 6. That's not great, but 63 at 17 is not bad at all. He is a playmaker. He actually has some really good offensive attributes. Like his shooting's decent, his passing decent, offensive awareness needs some work, but this guy could either become an NHL player just barely maybe, or a very good AHLer. So I don't mind that pick. Not the best pick in the world, but still gives us more depth on our offensive pool. And then in terms of our other picks, what do we want to take here? Let's see if we could find anybody that might be a really good steal here. This guy might have good shooting. Pro release, no ETA, no potential listed. That would be a major risk taking Bernard Peltier, but he might be good. But it's tough to really tell because he's not fully scouted. Trying to see if we could find anybody crazy good here. We might have to sort by potential. Yeah, let's sort by potential and see if there's any low elites that are guaranteed. Oh, there's this other medium elite goaltender. He's not supposed to go for a while still. Same with this guy potentially. I doubt any of these guys are medium elite, or else they probably would have already went. There was Galiev, who we pinned in round 3, who could be a low elite offensive defenseman. There's also Dominic Mira. There's no guarantee that any of these guys are low elites though, but they could be. Let me just look at their attributes here. Okay, so I would probably lean towards Galiev, but then again, Mira doesn't have any weakness, but he's probably a low 6. And we're going to take a chance with Dominic Mira here. I think he looks a little bit better. Actually, maybe he doesn't look a little bit better. Trying to see. 3 C's, a D, and 2 B's. Same type of thing almost. But the difference is that you can see Galiev has a weakness. Mira does not have a weakness, so yeah, let's take Dominic Mira with our 2nd round pick here. Low 6 as well. Not great that these guys don't only have low 6 potential, but at least we got some good 1st round picks, so I'm okay with that. These guys are just kind of extra players in a sense, gives us more depth in terms of our forward prospect pool. Not that we need to address it really much, but still. Okay, round 4 now. Let's see if we can find any steals. Guaranteed bottom 6s is not great. This might be a medium elite goaltender, so we might as well draft another one. He is 20 years old, though. That's the only thing I don't like about Lorakainen. There is a guaranteed medium 9 in Olas, who's 19 now. There is this other medium elite goalie that's still supposed to go. Yeah, I think I would rather go for... Actually, Nash is 20 years old as well, but he's listed as a gem. And he's guaranteed to be 5 years out, so... goddamn. Let's look at these guys comparison-wise. Yeah, Lorakainen's a little tiny bit more athletic, it looks like. That's the difference. But for some reason, Lorakainen's not listed as a gem while Nash is, which is kind of weird. Let's just go with Lorakainen and Nash, maybe. Even though we don't need more medium elite goalies, it just gives us more depth. So, Lorakainen's a 58. Which is very low for a 20-year-old, but maybe he develops into something. Even a backup goalie would be okay at this rate, because we could use more backups. Our next pick here is that other goalie available still. There is a couple. There is Roger Jang, who's only looking like a starting goalie, but he is 18, and he'd be NHL ready before this guy is. So I think I might honestly go for Jang instead, if we want to keep adding some more goalies. So let's add Roger Jang as well. And he's only a medium fringe starter, never mind. That was not a great pick, but that's okay. Gives us more depth in terms of goaltenders. Some of these guys might end up just playing in the AHL. Some of them might make the NHL. Let's see. Do we have anything here we could steal? Palat, that's supposed to go late in a draft. The last Palat that went late in a draft in real life was really good, but do we want to take Vaclav? Kukkonen, maybe Daniel Carl. He is 20 years old though. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for the guy I just pinned. So we're gonna go for Palat. Maybe he's an elite player, maybe he's not. But so Vaclav, Palat, welcome aboard. Medium bottom 6. That's kind of what I was guessing. That kind of sucks. And our final pick of the draft at number 212. Can we find a crazy steal here? Probably not. Probably not. But Let's take a chance on Chance Greer. He is a low elite potentially, and he is an offensive defenseman. So will he be low elite? He is. Let's go. Okay. Wasn't expecting him to actually be. We took a chance with Chance, and he is 19 already. But 2 offensive defensemen in the same draft. And who knows, maybe Chance Greer will be the better of the 2 low elites, or better of the 2 elite offensive defenders. So I like that draft actually a lot. That was a pretty good draft for the most part. Vandermeer, Vernarski, and King, obviously very solid first round picks. Mishenko and Mira being low 6s could end up being something, so I don't mind it. Then we got Laura Kynan, who's also minimally, Jang, who's a fringe starter, so eh. And then we got a couple extra guys in Palat. And then Greer should be exciting. So I think most of our picks I'm pretty excited about. So there is our draft. Now comes the re-sign stage. We got rid of Michelli, so we will have more cap space for some of our younger talent. But let me bring back our current scouts again. And see if we could get them all back in. We might need to replace some of them in the next episode. But like I said, the next few episodes are going to be pre-recorded just because of my grandmother being down. So there you go. That's good. That's all good. Okay. Re-sign stage. How much cap space we got? Probably a ton. $45 million. Love to see it. And we don't have any huge name UFAs to bring back, which is awesome. So, Hellenius, what are you wanting right now? I might honestly just qualify a lot of these guys, to be honest. Let's see. Let's send this guy a 2-way deal. Doesn't really matter. I am going to let go of Kuzmin, I think. He's just taking up a roster spot in the AHL at the moment, so we'll re-sign Graham. Arcuri is not going to get a qualifying offer. Kane definitely... that's not bad, but I am going to just qualify him for now. Yakala should be probably in our lineup soon, but we will give him his 2-way deal that he wants. Kumpalainen. Yeah, I could just give him what he's asking for almost. I'm just going to qualify him in case I could get him for less. Galvis. Yeah, he's not going to really develop much, it looks like. So I am just going to qualify him at the moment. Caden Lindstrom. Probably not going to develop much either based on his asking prices. So let's just qualify him. And Hellenius I might already lock up, to be honest, because I have seen him play really good in franchise mode. This year, how much points did he have again? 50 points, and that's his first full NHL season. Yeah, I think I'm going to lock him up already. He's already listed as a second-line forward. Let's give him a 6-year deal, and we're also going to try the 85% trick, even though technically we don't need to really do that because we're not trying to save cap space anyways. But we might need to still sign some cap whales in the off-season. So let me times this by 0.85. It looks like I might be able to get him for like just over $4 million like this, which would be a good deal, I think, for 6 years. It's not like it's an 8-year deal, but still it's getting that core locked up a little bit. In terms of goaltenders, we definitely will bring back Grant on a 1-year deal. Ivanov, I might as... Actually, do I need to bring back Ivanov? Yeah, I probably will bring back Ivanov, I think. Yeah, I think I will bring back Ivanov just because he's a depth piece. Gabriel Degg probably wants too much money right now. Yeah, I'm not going to give you like an 8-year deal yet. We're going to just qualify him as well. See if we get him down for a little bit less. We also do have Christian Cairo to worry about, which I almost forgot about. Wow. He wants a ton of money. We are going to have to qualify him for now as well, trying to get that asking price down too. Because that's a bit steep. I mean, he is a very good top 4 defenseman. He did just have 50-something points as well. But he might get replaced by some of the guys that we just drafted at some point. So so that's all good. UFA-wise, let's see who we got here. Actually, let's start with the top of this list. I think I'm going to let go of a lot of the defenders. So like Kolyachonic and Thompson, let them go because we do have that medium elite offensive defenseman to bring in. Svechkovsky could go as well because he's just a depth option, cap whale type thing. Same with Colton White, who we brought in via waivers. We are going to sign Burnett to his ELC for the AHL, as well as Wilson, because both of them are pretty good. Roach as well, actually. 71 on 20 is pretty solid for a low 4, so we'll sign him up. We also have these guys. Bishop was a second-round pick. He actually doesn't look bad, but he is an OFD as well. You know what? He's only 19. We'll sign him up as well for the AHL. And then what about McGillis? Second rounder. Doesn't look insanely good. But you know what? We could always just sign as much players as we want for the AHL. So, but these low sixes like Seabrook and 66 at 20 isn't ideal. I'm going to let him go. And I'm going to let go of Duchesne as well. And also Turkov. We could always bring them back at some point, but I want to see if they develop first. Kolyachonok and stuff, though, I think. Yeah, Kolyachonok and Thompson are going to go for now, because we don't really need them at the moment. And I think Lucas Dostal is also going to go. He doesn't want that much, though. He did just really play really bad this season, though. So we could always replace him, but let me see our goaltending situations. So we have Dag, and we'd have Grant as well, AHL-wise. Ivanov. Oh, yeah, there's still Scarlett, too. Maybe I didn't even need to bring back Ivanov, to be honest. I could run Grant as a backup next season in the NHL, because he's kind of at that make-or-break point. But that would make us much weaker, likely. Yeah, I think I might let go of Dostal here, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Dostal. Thank you for your time here, Lucas. And I think that is good. Yeah, that should be good. Let's see if Hellenius accepts that extension. He probably will. And then we have to decide on signing some cap whales again for this team, which is kind of crazy considering the fact that we have such a good talent of team. Hellenius did not accept that extension, okay. What if I give you 4.5 for 6 years? Because that would be pretty nice. You rejected it again. What if I just give you exactly what you want for 6 years? Because you are an integral piece to the future of this team. And he did resign to that, okay? I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Okay, so we have $39 million in cap space. And we have still 5 RFAs here and 2 RFA goalies. Some of them will probably accept beforehand, but that's all good and ready to go, which is nice. Unsigned wise, are we going to sign anybody from our unsigned pool? None of the goalies for sure. Defending wise, we are going to sign Vandermeer, because might as well. He could even play in the AHL this season, so we could play him in there if for some reason we don't want to rush him. Scarlett didn't get any growth yet, but he might get growth by the start of next season, so I'm going to probably wait till the start of the next episode, like the actual season. To make my decision on that, because if he's up to an 80, then we'll definitely sign him. If he's still a 77, I might sign him anyways, but we might still wait a little bit. Same goes with Varnarski, I think, though. I mean, Varnarski is AHL eligible, not like Scarlett was. That's the only thing. Is there room for Varnarski on the AHL defensive core? Out of curiosity. So we'd be running, let's see, Scarlett would be one of the best defenders down there in the AHL at the moment. But we do have like Bishop under contract, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could actually use more AHL defensemen. So I might think actually of signing Varnarski. And then Vandermeer could play in the AHL potentially next year, depending. Unless we sign more players. Yeah, I'm going to sign Varnarski already too. Might as well get him into the AHL a little bit. I know it's a bit of a risk, but still. We are going to sign Louis Var as well. 69 at 19. Gives that the AHL defense score a little bit more stronger. The other guys I'll wait on a little bit longer. Jacquezi's also AHL ready. So we are going to sign Mr. Arthur Jacquezi. Left wing wise, these guys could wait another year at least. And same with these guys too. Perfect. Okay, so let's advance today, see if we get those guys signed in. Yes, we do, of course. And let's sim 2 free agency, and some of our RFAs should accept here too. And then we'll take a look at what's available free agency wise. Also, the next episode that I recorded this, like I said, the next 3 episodes would be pre-recorded, but I'm likely going to record the next episode for this a little bit after you guys see the episode, this episode. So there might be still time for you guys to give me some suggestions. So, okay, let's take a look at our contract situation. Who's still in RFA at the moment? RFA at the moment, still Kyrou, Lundstrom, Galveston, Kane. That's okay. And still Gabriel Dag. Okay, so technically what this team needs is a backup goalie, because obviously we're going to have Dag, but we do need a backup goaltender. We also need, well, with Kyrou, Galvis, and Kane, that's 3 more defenders in the NHL. We technically have our defensive core. I could use Graham technically as a depth defenseman, but he might develop into being something good, so he is only a top 6 potential though, so maybe using him as a 7th D isn't a bad option for his team. But so we have a good chunk of defensemen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, what else we got here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with Barlow. We have way too many centers almost in a sense, but yeah, we can definitely assign some depth pieces and keep the rest of the team the same almost in a sense. But let's take a look at free agency. Also take a look at the trading block, and like I said, I'll probably record the next episode of the series, the next 3 episodes actually of the series, right after you guys see this next current episode. So let's see who is out there if we want to actually sign any free agents. So if we want to bring in a backup goaltender, there is still obviously Dostal, who we just let go of. There's not really much else. There is like Decord, so there is options for backup goalies. In terms of the defensemen, let's see. I don't think there's really much I would bring in defensively anyways, but there is some good defenders out there, but most of them are pretty average. Right wing wise, because we might use more wingers considering we have a lot of centers. I don't know. Not really seeing anybody insane on the right side of things. Left wing wise, Panarin's out there at 37. Heineman at 27 isn't bad. The fact that Emil Heineman's already 27 is kind of whack though, but He's already listed as a third line checking forward. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much on the winger core unless we want to bring in old guys like Marchand and Hall. Goddamn. So there's that. Center wise, not that we really need centers, but still. Yeah, this free agent pool is not necessarily the best. Okay. Let's take a look at potential good players. You have some low 6s and no low elites on the center side of things. Same with the left wing side of things. Same with the right wing. There is 2 low elite defenders that we could sign up for the AHL. But the AHL already probably has its defensive core figured out, I'm guessing, with Kervinen and Louis. But we could still sign them, potentially. Were these guys ever drafted? No, they're both undrafted. They don't really look the best on paper, though. Like, I might want to wait a little bit to see if these guys actually pan out. Like, one's already 20 years old, so, What about goalie prospects? Rizzy, who's a medium starter at 20, but 51 only, is not really ideal, so... I don't really know if I'm going to sign too much free agents, maybe only a couple to get us to the cap floor, but once we get our RFA signed up, we should be a little bit more cap compliant, because I could always give Kyrou a multi-year deal. If I tried the 85% trick on him, I might be able to get him, so I might offer him an 85% trick contract right now, and we'll see if he accepts that in the next episode, but because we have the cap space right now to do this type of thing. 7.7. Let's try and get him for 7.7 for 4 years. That actually might be an overpayment, but I know he sims really well. Does make us a bit more cap compliant. It's a movable contract. Signs him until he's 29. It's a bit of a risk to sign him until he's 29. Let's do 7.85 for 3. Yeah, let's do that. And like the other RFAs and stuff like that, we might be getting closer to the cap floor, which is good, but we might still have to sign a couple cap whales in the next episode. Finally, let's look at the trading block just in case. And I think that'll be it for this episode at that point. I don't think we're going to really make any blockbuster trades this offseason, but you never know. Our team is getting to that point where we are actually starting to contend potentially, but obviously that defensive core needs to be much better than it was last season, so maybe we make some coaching adjustments in the next episode. I will be, like I said, recording the next episode after you guys see this, like by maybe an hour or so. So there is a chance that if you watch it in the first hour that I might be able to still get to your comments and suggestions on what we do. Mo Seider on the block is intriguing, but we don't really need him. We have our defensive players that we just drafted that are going to be jumping in. Very excited for that offensive defenseman. Like I said, I think he's going to help drive that power play quite a bit. Like, imagine him on the point with like Aiden Irving, who's got great shooting. It'd be really awesome. Low franchise. What the heck? He must have jumped up potential, this guy. 29th overall, low franchise goaltender. Yeah, I think he must have jumped up because he had a really good year in the AHL. And then he also played solid in the NHL. Never played a single playoff game, but that's an interesting goalie, but $7.5 million. We don't really need a goaltender anyways at the moment. We will at some point, but Dag is currently our guy. I don't know for how long term he is, but usually kind of like goalies with good potential don't simulate well, so he probably won't even win us a cup. What else we got here? Not really a lot on the block either this offseason. So I think we might honestly just sign some cap whales if we need to sign cap whales on top of our team. And then we just simulate still like we did like last few years, is not really make much trades, just trying to see what the team does. Obviously we're going to be a little bit worse potentially without Michelli, but that is okay. Chinnikov's on the block now in Toronto after we dealt him there. That's kind of funny. Anything else? Kuzmenko. There is a couple good players out there, but it's not really anything I would want to bring into this young team or sacrifice the future of this team. So I think that is good. And I think that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to free agency, and we'll also start simulating the next season. We'll see what this team could do. And hopefully, like some of our prospects we just drafted that are jumping into the NHL or AHL, could do relatively well to help turn the tides of our defensive core a little bit, especially. And hopefully our goaltending could also improve, because once that improves with the offense we already have, we're going to be a good team. Send anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.